Are you actually editing your photos or are you just processing your photos? Because it's editing that is going to make you a better photographer and not necessarily processing. So if you're just processing your photos, or if you don't know what the difference is, and that's fine, you're going to want to stick around for the next few minutes to understand how editing can improve your photography. And this is actually advice that I wish I had decades ago because I feel like I had a lot of lost years not understanding why editing is important and how if I started actually editing earlier in my photography, I could have improved my photography much sooner. So let's start out with some of the terminology. What is the difference between editing and processing? Editing is selecting the photos that you are going to process, choosing the photos that you're going to include in your portfolio or the photos that you want to use to tell a story. Which photos make the cut? That is an edit. Once you have edited your photos, then you start the processing, moving the sliders around in Photoshop or Lightroom or Capture One, adjusting the tonality and the color and things like that. That is processing, and it comes after a good edit. If we were to kind of think of this as a music analogy, editing is the process of picking which songs are going to go on an album, and processing is mixing and engineering the audio in those songs. So, now let's look at a few reasons why editing is so important. If you were to go on a photo walk and you created 50 photos on that walk, you're not going to want to process all 50 photos. I know I'm not. I don't have the time for that. And I doubt you have the time for that also. So you're just going to want to pick 5 or 10 of the best out of those 50 photos and process those. And then if you were to present those photos to someone else, they're not going to want to see all 50 photos either. I know I'm going to lose interest very quickly if someone says, "Here are 50 photos from my photo walk." Attention is very valuable these days. We all know we all have short attention spans. That goes for you as a photographer processing your photos and as a viewer looking at photos. So we really need to pick the strongest photos from that photo walk, the ones that are really going to grab someone's attention and then keep that attention. And then when you're creating your portfolio, you're not going to want to put all photos in there because too many photos can really dilute, water down that portfolio. It's going to take away from the strongest photos, and now that whole entire portfolio is just going to lose its luster. So that's why we need to pick the strongest photos only and include those. Going back to that music analogy, if you were to buy an album, for those of you who still buy albums or remember buying albums, if there were 15 terrible songs on that album, but it had 2 good ones, it's still a terrible album. The same concept applies to your photography. So, those were some of the reasons for editing your photos and not just processing, but how does it actually improve your photography? Let's take a look at that now, starting with how it improves our technical skills. As you are editing your photos, so you're going through all of your photos and you're trying to pick which ones that you want to include, you're going to be looking at things like if that photo is sharp where you want it to be, if it's exposed properly. And as you're looking at those photos, you can kind of make some mental notes. Why was that picture blurry? Was it because of your focus technique? Or was it because of your shutter speed? You can take that, you can learn from that and say, okay, well, these photos were all blurry because my shutter speed was too slow. Next time I go out in the same kind of environment and create some photos, I need to make sure that I have a faster shutter speed so that those photos aren't as blurry. If while you are editing your photos, you notice that they are consistently underexposed or overexposed, again, make some notes so that next time you go out, you can pay more attention to your exposure. This is how editing can improve your technical skills. And the next time you come back from a photo walk, you're going to have less trash photos. You're going to have fewer photos that you're going to throw away because they're out of focus or the exposure is off because you have learned how to prevent that from the last edit that you did. Editing can also improve your creative skills. I know a lot of photographers who, they do an edit, they don't really know that they're doing an edit. They just pick the photos that they like and then they process those photos. But you need to ask yourself, why do you like those photos? What is it about those photos that makes you want to pick them to process or to include in your portfolio? Is it the way that you use the color or the way that the textures really pop out in that photo or your use of light and shadow, layers, the moment or the gesture, the emotion that you caught in that photo? If you can identify exactly what it is about those photos that you like, why you're picking those, you ask yourself, what is it about this photo that I really like? You can recreate that, reproduce it the next time you go out with your camera. As an example, here's a series of photos that I created of people walking down a dock. These photos are all very similar. So, which one are you going to choose? Don't just pick one, but actually look at the photos, look at all of the elements in the photo. And ultimately, I chose the one where the people mostly have a natural stride. They don't have that awkward mid step goofiness where they appear to only have one leg or they're doing some kind of weird yoga posture. If you've never paid attention to anything like this while you're photographing, but you notice it while you're editing, it's going to be a light bulb moment for you. You're going to say, okay, the next time I photograph people walking, I really need to pay attention to the timing or go into a burst mode or have multiple photos to choose from so that I can pick one where everyone has a mostly natural stride. And that's going to create a stronger photo. Picking the best photos isn't just about picking the ones that you like either. It's about picking the photos that properly tell the story, even if those are not 5-star photos. We go into all of these storytelling photos and how to create a story using photographs in the Better Photography Through Visual Storytelling course. But as an example, some of the photos that you're going to be looking for while you're doing your edit are going to be looking for an opening or establishing photo to set the scene. You're going to want to get detail and close up photos, photos with gestures or special moments, and then a closing photo to kind of wrap everything up. On their own, these aren't necessarily super strong photos. I certainly wouldn't put them on Instagram all by themselves, but together they help tell the story of a boy with no shoes finally getting some new kicks. This is editing for story. Not all photos that you create are going to be a part of a story, that's for sure. However, if you are creating photos to tell some kind of narrative, when you go out with your camera the next time, you're going to be thinking to yourself, okay, I need to have all of these different kinds of storytelling photos because the last time I edited something, I was missing a lot of the detail or the close up photos. And so now when I'm out, I really need to concentrate more on capturing those close up photos. So that is the difference between editing and processing and why editing is so important to improve your photography. If you're wondering about the actual mechanics of editing photos, like which program are you going to use? How do you actually do this? I cover a lot of that in the After the Capture course, and I'll also link to some other videos in the description that you can watch. But there are so many things that we get bogged down with as photographers, all of the gear and all of the post processing techniques. But when was the last time that you actually paid attention to how and why you edit your photos and how you can use that step to improve your photography? This isn't about coming back with 100% keepers every time you go out with your camera, but it is about coming back with less chaff and stronger photos to choose from. Please let me know if you have any additions about editing versus processing or any other questions. Subscribe for more great tips like this every week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.